Yo, what's happening with it? World Shemines and them, the Toothless Wonder, back with another installment on the Bamboozle Again News Network. Show you right, first thing in the morning is a little cup of Joe, you know what I'm saying? I still been messing with the beetroot juice, but I guess because the season over with, they ain't really in the stores like that. So I ended up getting beetroot powder off of Amazon. It's not as, it doesn't give you that jolt, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's more maybe longer lasting. Anywho, I was talking to somebody last night, and they told me I was crazy, right? And it made me think of some content. You know what I mean? Actually, when people call you crazy, especially nowadays, that's actually a good thing. Because when they say you crazy, they don't actually mean you're crazy, like you can't function or you don't have any skills or anything along those lines. What they really saying to you is you're nothing like us. You know what I'm saying? Or you know how the words say, you should be a peculiar people. You know what I mean? That's actually a good thing, yo. Because trust and believe, as they attempt to covertly introduce herd mentality into the populace, the ability to have your own interests, you know what I mean, your own mind, your own hobbies that are unique to you, you know what I'm saying, with these, organic droids that seem to be, among us, right? That's a good thing, yo. I don't even get offended when people do that. That lets me know you perceive I'm not like you or my ways are contrary to yours. That's a blessing in and of itself. I don't want to fit in. I don't want to group up. Not that I have an issue with being social. I just understand in this matrix, a lot of times these social groupings be they ain't hitting on nothing. You know what I'm saying? There be these undercover jealousies and you know what I'm saying, opportunistic mood. Backdoor. You can't backdoor me if I ain't around you like that. You know what I'm saying? And the people that I do rock with, we all kind of move in a similar way. You know what I'm saying? Even on these proverbial movies where there's the guy with the proverbial tinfoil hat. He got the dry erase board with all these equations on it and things of that nature. When everything go ham in society, the government people and the corporations come find him in his little apartment and ask him what to do. And I've known this throughout my life experience, right? It's always good to keep a proverbial crazy dude on the squad, yo. Now you probably can't take him to the company picnic or maybe take him around your family or stuff like that. But when there are these kind of overwhelming situations, he the go-to guy, the guy who sit on the end of the bench in basketball, who never take his his warm-up off, and the other and the team getting blown out. Who they put in? The crazy man, to stop the momentum, for you to reinsert the starters and try to get some gusto back. You know what I'm saying? Or when I used to go to school, right? You might got your goth people, or, the recluse, or whoever it may be. I would always show them love, just in case they come up in this camp and something be talking to them and say, let's mow everybody down today. But if you gave them a couple sodas at lunchtime, you'll get a pass. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, I've been in spots, right, in my earlier 20s, right? And just, I try to treat everybody cordial. I'm not necessarily judgmental, or, whether it be the drug addict, the super thug, the harlot. You know what I'm saying? I've been cool with all these people, right? And they feel comfortable around me, right? I remember one time I was in the club one night. I'm in that joint totally oblivious, just doing me, and I wasn't super drunk or nothing. And I knew the dude in passing. We see each other speak. It was love, right? He roll up on side me, tap me, and say, "Hey, cuz, man, get on up out of here, cuz." I look at him. I seen that look on his face. I tapped the person I was with. Let's roll up, cuz. Man, come on, bro. You ready to get jiggy in here? Come on. A couple days later, I seen it in the paper. I said, God darn, folks. And I guess that alludes to a certain amount of grace and mercy. And if you label crazy, right, you're probably not ingratiated into these various social groupings. As they say, what is that? Your rejection is God's protection. Because, like, if I got ingratiated into these hustling groups that I've seen, or pockets of friends and all that, I'd have been in prison. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody told on me. And, you know what I'm saying? It is very vexing before you have all the spiritual knowledge. Because I used to think, like, one, a lot of times I didn't want to fool with it, or I didn't see what was so great about it. Or let's say, I got the skill set to whoop, to whoop, to woo. It just wouldn't work out right. Or like when I was at the old job, they said I was crazy there. But I said, well, if I'm crazy, y'all crazier than I am, because I quit on y'all, y'all hired me back, and I quit again. That means y'all crazy. If you do something once, you'll probably do it again. You know what I'm saying? Y'all crazy for hiring me back. You know what I mean? Then the second time I left, everybody was all upset and mad. And I think it's because they was trying to set me up in that joint, and it didn't work, so everybody got mad at me. Because, like, the last day I actually worked, I went down to the desk and spoke to everybody. Ain't nobody say nothing. So I said, oh, all right. You know what I mean? I felt the energy, right? So I go holler at my supervisor. I'm trying to get some, insight. But she kept giving me the company line. And then I had this inkling that she was lying, right? So I said, okay. Saw them all over at the crib. I'm like, yo, I can't put my finger up. I don't think she telling. I think she just telling me, you know what I mean? Come to discover later on, she was lying. I said, man, I can't even trust my super. Now I'm thinking they out to get me because I'm nothing like them. And now they know I know certain stuff. So in order to get me, I guess, to kind of dial it back, let's put him in one of these old, trick bag situations. So we'll have something over top his head. You know what I'm saying? And I've done my fair share of dirt. You know what I'm saying? But I owned up to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was actually sorrowful and repentant. That's why I used to have to drink like that all the time. Because I can't do certain stuff unless I'm outside, under the influence, rather. Because my conscience going to tell me not to do it. So I got to sear that to be able to pull this Willie stunt off. Now, to everybody else, it was super spectacular. Now, I wake up, I'm trying to wait for the liquor store to open up. Because when I woke up, I was like, man, I had no business doing that, yo. You know what I mean? Good and crazy. I was crazy enough. I go in court, represent myself, start talking about some stuff that ain't got nothing to do with why I'm in there. I'm referencing historical reference, Illinois versus Sam Sausage Head. But I'm making it sound good, you know what I mean? They mess around and just give me some probation, hoping I do something later on so they can really throw me. You know what I'm saying? I just always kind of been different. I always felt different. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand, like, yeah, school, and, that was real big, in my household, because, from the generation prior, education was the path to upward mobility. But I'm just thinking to myself, hey, you can't really talk back or voice your opinion like that. But I'm like, where am I going to use any of this stuff? And then they never teach you none of the life skills. I learned that from my grandparents or just my own life experiences. And here's another thing, like, it was kind of quasi like Moses. Now, I wasn't in the palace or nothing, but I kind of grew up, like little house on the prairie, kind of old fashioned. But I always had this desire to see life up close. I think that's why I kind of gravitated to the streets. Not that I was hustling or anything. My friends were doing that. But I just want to see the really real of life. I don't want nobody to tell me I want to experience this. I've always been kind of what they call like a broken wing kind of thing, where you either are attracted to or attract like broken people or people in pain. That's probably why I'm, been, I guess, funneled into this particular endeavor that I'll be on the precipice of taking on next week, so long as we don't get hit with another blizzard. Then it'll just get backdated, but it's real in the battlefield, and like all my life experience, like how the word talk about long suffering, but you don't really realize how long suffering is when you're dealing with an entity that's outside the constructs of time. You know what I'm saying? I've, in one way, shape, fashion, or another, I've been struggling all my years on earth, yo. And I ain't grew up in no wild household of drug abuse or just physical abuse, or I just never fit into the world. So I've always been trying to carve out my niche. And in the process of long suffering, my niche has been carved out in the very thing that held me back all these years. Addiction. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but all the various characters and phenotypes of people that, I've been privy to rub shoulders with. People be blown away, because I do roll solo, but people be surprised, like, who I know. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be in the business world, academia, the streets, jazz, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know a plethora of people who speak very highly of me, even when I was down bad, because I ain't never do them no type way. Like I said, I had, at one point, right before my wilderness season, I had like white folks who, now mind you, I'm lost in the sauce, right? Fighting and carrying on doing this here. But white folks that were my neighbors, right? They might work in the hotel industry or a skilled trade. And they would, kick it with me and ask my advice about their marriage or society at large. You know what I'm saying? The wise wino. You know what I'm talking about? We just gotta get them a couple beds, man. You know what I'm saying? And they know I actually care. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't. And I've had like, it's just hardwired in me, yo. And sometimes, I was thinking about this too as well, where you have the word, but sometimes the word seems like it'll put you at a disadvantage operating practically. You know what I'm saying? In Babylon. So, like one personal situation, I'm being attacked, right? But now with a greater clarity, I can't repay evil for evil. So in my practical mind, that make me think that I'm just subject to just getting, you know, these people are able to vex me with no counterattack. You know what I'm saying? When if I counter, I can get them to stop. But that would be violating the Most High law, statute, commandments as I know it to be, based on what I would do. Not violence, of course. But then I'm like, well, if they keep attacking me, what if I lose this, or what if this happened, or woo to woo? It ain't been happening. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of the space I'm in, and I'm a whole lot better with it. Just letting the weapon form, and having trust and belief and faith that it ain't gonna prosper. In reality, ain't none of it. And I've been through a plethora of stuff. I've been through so much stuff, I done forgot all of it. You know what I'm talking about? And it might have vexed me or forced it, but it never really worked. Because I'm pretty sure, looking back over life, I should have been in the ground on multiple occasions, or people would have siphoned my energy, or I never could have recovered from the sowing seeds of doubt, or you know what I'm saying. You know how like everything is inverted here, and I used to think like everybody had a soul and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I thought at least everybody got some little bit of empathy. Come to discover that's not the case, especially not now. People are so inwardly bankrupt. The only joy they got is hearing somebody else fell off or doing bad, or they put some move together that stop you from striving, and because they have no energy in and of themselves. Like my man I talked about on here, DC Mo. He had no energy in and of himself, other than what he could siphon from me or talking about other people who were in the same situation as us, like somehow you're superior to them. How are you superior to them? And we all in the same boat, cuz. Now I can see, okay, I see cuz do this. That looked like a bad mistake. So I learned from his mistake and apply it to myself to make sure I don't commit the same mistake. But just talking about the man in essence of somehow you're better or more knowledgeable than him can't be the case. And in reality, that might be blocking you, or putting an ego in front that you don't have. Because even though you say all this, that, and the third about this man, he don't have the issues you got. He fare better dealing with people than you do. You see what I'm saying? All that, comparing, and especially here in Babylon, that seems to be more of a thing anywhere. Like the comparing yourself to others. I just come to discover, like my journey has just been the scenic route. You know what I mean? And I have a certain level of intelligence. I would like to believe so. You know what I mean? And I always thought like, yo, why I can't do this, or why I didn't get hired here, or why they picked them over me. You know what I'm saying? I was more prepared or whatever the case. That ain't my lane. You know what I'm saying? And here goes faith again. I have faith on this path, that the path I'm walking is leading me to the destination of my purpose. Because I'll be honest, I can't do nothing. People place a thing if it ain't purposeful. Like the Ravens played the Steelers. What was that, last week? And this was like after the snowstorm and all that. So I had a thought. I was at the gas. I said, man, I should go around the homies and watch the game, try to be social, right? I told y'all my car drove me home. I ain't had no desire to do it. It's not purposeful. I got a whole list of like companies and that I might be doing, part time, or just checking out information. I check out a lot of information. A lot of it I can't use it, or it's not pertinent to what I got going on. But at least I know, instead of wondering and then never found out. You know what I'm saying? All the various endeavors up like CDL, solar, various jobs in different capacities. All that stuff led me on the path to essentially becoming a state employee. Which is funny, right? You ever heard the term, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans? I went from trying to escape Babylon to being state property and an employee of the state of Maryland. You can't make this up. That's why it's like I get a precursor and then I get glimpses of it and then it becomes a reality. Oh, well, hell, I was just talking to a brother on here that I know from YouTube uh, through the email. And he was asked, because I was trying to go to Liberia, right? Or West Africa. They got all these initiatives in Ghana, coming home, whatever, whatever. Ain't none of that work. Ain't none of that work. Because it ain't meant, and I know one thing for sure, two things for certain. If God don't want me to do something, he got a miraculous way of blocking it. Block, 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 Matumbo. But I'm like, okay, you block. So what am I supposed to do then? It's at the end of every time, like even with, substance abuse, the vision gets manifested when I always come to the end of myself. You know what I'm saying? I always got saved at the last minute. You know what I'm saying? I go to court for something. Oh man, this the one here. They finally gonna get me. And somehow, I don't wind up getting what I thought I was gonna get. Just like when I broke my neck, look like it was all over with. He saved me at the last minute. I said, God, I understand you do this, right? But because of the anxiety it created, I said, can you save me like at the 2-minute warning? Why you always gotta hit a buzzer beater? Because I want to, that's why. You know what I'm saying? But now I've noticed and gotten better with through life experience that the closer I get to running out of options, the closer I am to a proverbial breakthrough or a path being carved out. Because if this situation didn't work, based on the industries that are around here, I can't leave, seemingly, but I can't do nothing else here because I've maximized out or whatever the case may be. And then there it is. The blessing always comes seemingly when you come to the end of yourself. Like when I was back in Baltimore, tried everything, various jobs and so on. Somehow I just couldn't, which is odd. Why I can't get no job here in Baltimore? I ain't commit no crimes here, and I had been left like a criminal lifestyle on. So I said, well, maybe I've done all I can do here. Maybe I've maximized all I can do here, and the door was open for me to come back to this general area after I ran out of options there. Then when I got that to where I'm at now, or in the general area, had a season or whatever, ran out of options there, and then I got here. And then when I got here, the floodgates bust open. And then it was amazing because now I'm operating right. But now I'm kind of, even though I was in society, I'm kind of get reinserted back into society, right? And then it revealed to me what he was doing in all the delays when he put me around people. Like I talk about the social groupings, being self-aware and things of that nature. All that was home. See, now he can put me around the vipers because now I become a snake charmer. Not realizing I was a snake charmer and not realizing that was a skill I was going to need. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's like on a daily basis, I'm getting these greater levels of faith, greater levels of obedience, submission. You know what I'm saying? It's like the master potter is forming me into he need me to be. So now I ain't gonna say I gave up on it, but certain like constructs in my mind of what I desire or the life I want to build and all that there, it's starting to slip off me. I just be thankful and grateful for what I got. You know what I'm saying? The experience that I had that used to make me sad that I can now laugh about. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody saying I'm funny, but I'm not trying to be funny. I just got an unorthodox way of saying or explaining stuff. You know what I'm saying? Here's one. I remember one time, I'm just talking on this jump. I was in the DMV area, and I started working on trash trucks. So some little homies around me, right? So I ended up putting them on, right? So everybody in the neighborhood is working on this trash truck. Everybody each be. So I'm in the crib actually I was outside and we was all just kicking it. And a couple of little homies, got the arguing and then they start clutching, right? So I'm like, oh, homies, you know what I'm saying? So I breaks them up, right? As I'm breaking them up, the federale man come around the corner. Now, mind you, they're fist fighting. I'm breaking them up. He tell me sit on the curb. Now, in my revolutionary mind, because I think I'm doing right in society now, I tell him my day sitting on the curb is over with, cuz. And what told him? They still fighting. He totally, it's like he didn't see them fight, and they banging, but he telling me sit on the curb. I said, man, nah. So then he get all enamored, or because they still fight. He go over there with them. I'm looking around. I said, man, I'm gone, bro. I walked in the house and watched them fight from out the window, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's so crazy because you know how the police do us as Negro men. And I've had so many. I used to talk to the police all stupid, and I'm still on earth, yeah. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Look, one night, again, grace and mercy, right? So my neighbor, he had kids go to school, and the woman I was with, she had kids, so we up early, right? So now I'm going across the street shucking job with him 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, right? So how it work out? Uh, I think I had some herb, and then when I went over there, he had like a half a bottle left. So we getting jiggy, right? So now, I'm getting my superpowers for the day, right? So something happened. I'm pulling a move and making some money somehow, selling something I ain't had. So I just take this. Now I ain't ate nothing. By the end of the night, I had drunk probably like 2.5 fifths on an empty stomach, herbed out and all this here, right? So I goes to the white dude house. The white dude sell reefer, right? Young white dude, right? Walks in the house. Now, I thought somebody plucked me. But come to find out, they say I tripped over the carpet and fell 20 yards and cracked my head on side the entertainment center. I thought somebody hit me and knocked me out, right? Knocked myself out, like Jadakiss. Knock yourself out. So I'm like, man, who did it, da-da-da. So my man's in them like, yo, you split your head open, yo. So they ready to take me home, right? So they takes me home, boom, right? So my people's in the house, right? So I guess they had called him and told him or something like that. So my man tell me, yo, you gotta go to the hospital, yo, I can see your skull, yeah. I said, man, I ain't going to no hospital, yeah. Because, I'm anti-hospital, you know what I'm saying? So I'm so out of my mind belligerent. They called the ambulance, of course. I cussed the ambulance people out. I'm telling them, all this, medical conspiracy stuff and this, that, and the third, right? So I guess I'm talking so wild, they call the police, but I'm not knowing they're there. So I'm giving it to the ambulance people, right, who there to help me, right? I so happen to turn and see the federale man. I cuss him out, tell him stay right there. I'll be right back with you. Let me get back to y'all. Cut da da da. So eventually my mans and them, they get me, go on in the jump, whatever, whatever, whatever. It was just a debacle, man. Like all the times, like, I used to drink and drive. You know what I'm saying? And you got them ridges on the road that tell you swerve and they go do 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 do, and then you get back over. I drove for 2 hours, and the only time I didn't do that was on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge where ain't no rails, it's a guard line. I mean a guard rail. You know what I'm saying? I could have hurt somebody, or now that's crazy. Now I'm crazy in that respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, darn, Joe. That's amazing. Like, I should, you know what I mean? How I just live life with no care in the world. And here's why. Because I thought I was supposed to like will myself to my purpose. Or me in and of myself maximize my potential. So since I couldn't do that, because it wasn't meant for me to do, then I'll just punish myself and just do a whole bunch of dumb stuff since I can't live my purpose. Anyway, I thought that's what I was supposed to do, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why I used to do all that stupid stuff. Um, what they say, a man who's devoid of purpose will drown himself in pleasure, and i.e. bad decision. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had my run of I had a 7-year run off and on, going to jail back and forth. I couldn't imagine going to jail now. Man, no. The next time I go to jail, I'll be a political prisoner. You heard me? No, we ain't doing that. Yo, it's real in the battlefield. But I'm going to leave y'all on this note. And I've touched on a plethora of topics here. But my thing is this, yo. Especially nowadays, because you got to be aware of the game that's around you that's trying to run game on you. And I'm seeing it even like with the Dipset situation where lifelong friends are now publicly shaming each other. Or there were these underlying, like say me and my mans and then we got an issue, right? You know what I'm saying? And then he brings up like me drink or this, that, and the third. The fact that you were so quick to do that make me think you was holding that in your back pocket the whole time, yo. Like I've had, disagreements with friends and all that. But that just stay between me, or I might discuss it with someone who's mutually in the circle. But me going out here to, like somebody he cool with or hopping on the internet and then just divulging all this man dirty laundry. But if you go on our social media, we got 30,000 pictures together. That just never made sense to me. Even when I was younger, I'm thinking if we friends, we gonna be friends for life. I don't understand life journey. I'm like, you might go off to college and I go this way, but it's always gonna be love. Like, I never understood betrayal. Like, how do you betray your friend? Like, how you betray somebody you care about? Now, you might do something insensitive or, you know what I'm saying? And, you ain't gonna agree all the time, but the love's still there. Bring it in, man. We passed that. Anybody bringing it back up, that's old. You know what I'm saying? But it's like these various friends group be holding on to these secret animosities or slights, whether they be, real perceived or not. And then as soon as the most minuscule thing happen, or some outside antagonist plays off on that, you have people who've been together for years going at each other, trying to destroy each other. Nowadays, it seems like your friends are more dangerous than your enemies. Because at least if you're enemy, stay away from them or do whatever you see them or however you do that. But it be these so-say friends. Like now, things that have a good definition now have gotten a, a bad reputation. Like if you like people say this is my friend. But typically a friend wouldn't steal all your money. You know what I'm saying? Or these various TV shows where, lovers scorned but it wasn't love, it was lust, or it was some ulterior motive. You know what I'm saying? Like now, good things have gotten a bad reputation. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like family. Families technically is supposed to be good, but most of, if you view my content, have probably distanced ourselves from our families due to, political ideologies or these impositions in society and so on and so forth. But all the bad stuff, good. Like chasing fiat currency or I'm an alpha male because I'm able to get the best version of the worst kind of 304s. Huh? So you mean tell me that's why I don't like this talking point of the proverbial high value man. Now I'm all for striving in various aspects of your life, right? But I get my money up, I get six figures, I get super swole, I retool my wardrobe right. To then, at the end of that, the reward for that is the best of the worst hoes. I might well not do nothing. So if that's my my reward at the end of it. I remember I was at work one time, right? And this is where I think they co-opted my work daughter, right? So she started, like, we playing stuff, but we just playing. You play with people you feel comfortable playing with, right? But then she kind of took it up a notch as far as, trying to rub her breast assist across my elbows or, you know what I'm saying? Encroach on my personal space. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, you all right, yo? You know what I mean? Da-da-da. So she was like, oh, what she say something about I can't handle Big Moose? I said, who Big Moose? That's what, I guess, the nickname she gave to her vagina. I said, Big Moose? I bops off, right? So I tell my other co-worker, I said, I done did all, now mind y'all wasn't around me before y'all knew me, right? But I do all this internal work on me to then settle for Big Moose? No, I'd rather take enough. I don't want no Big Moose. Like, I'm going to tell the homies, yeah, boy, you know what I mean? Get around the homies and try to flex a little bit. Yeah, got me some Big Moose lad. That don't even sound like something a Negro want. It ain't even kitty cat no more or something, feline or, you know what I mean? Big Moose. How am I, and see, I got a different type of mind. When I'm thinking of Big Moose, I'm thinking you strapping stuff to the door and I ain't even going, you know what I mean? I do all this work to settle for Big Moose. I'm not selling for nothing. And here it is. I've been waiting for so long. I don't think nobody can outwait me. But I do all this waiting, all this practicing of leverage to then settle for something that I don't want. It's the principle of attempting to give you something before the breakthrough come in. Like the adversary tried to tempt your shore into giving him what was already his prematurely. But it come with strings attached. I know I played a waiting game. And in the waiting, that was giving me, I had to exercise faith. Even if I don't know I'm doing it right. I had to exercise a reliance on the Most High. And it's scary because it ain't no safety net. You know what I'm saying? We walk by faith and not by sight. You know what I'm saying? And then ultimately, at this stage in the game, I have to have that prerequisite training as we continue to see the world at large continue to fall into, just uncertainty, for lack of a better term. You don't know if you should prepare for the next pandemic, an alien invasion, or World War III, or all three at the same dang time. You know what I mean? You don't know what to believe, what to think, how to prepare, other than knowing with the resources you've been allotted and the spiritual inklings given them to you. You know what I'm saying? Just like the duck or the goose who knows to fly south for the winter. You'll know what to do when the time comes. You'll be led to move when it's time to be moved. You know what I'm saying? So all that overthinking and, of course, prepare, of course, plan. You should, like the ant, right? But having that be the end all be all ain't gonna work. Just like, let's say you was living out in Cali and you got all these food preps and, you know, armor and, weaponry and all that, and it all get burnt up in the fire. Then what you do? Your greatest prep is your spiritual disciplines in the Most High. And on that note, man, I'ma holler at y'all, man. One love, baby. Ooh, ah.